Hi everyone, Psychic Medium Valerie K here. How are all of you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful spring, the season that my neighbors side-eye me because I let my dandelions grow for the bees, and I think they're very, very happy plants. Well, it's been a minute and a lot has happened. I hope you're hanging in there okay. For my empaths, please continue to recognize what is your energy and what is the energy you are picking up and cleanse accordingly, whatever works for you. Please continue. Now, Spirit told me to tell you that it's going to be another 6 months of this crazy energy. So please continue to do sanctuary if you have been doing that. If you do meditate, then Spirit is suggesting that you meditate more often. The sessions don't have to be as long. And how interesting that Spirit had me start talking about sanctuary last fall so that y'all could get ready for this really strange energy and how to ground down in the evening for 10 minutes and figure it out before all of this started. I think that Spirit is really amazing. Okay, so I do have some questions, just a few. And then at the end, I will end with positive news. Everything is for entertainment purposes only. Now, as some of you know, because I had to cancel readings, my husband had a cancer scare this fall. We went to the oncologist last week and got a very positive report. So I'm just so grateful. And now we can take a breath and just relax a little bit and try to carry on with this normalish life. So I'm so glad about that. I had stepped back, so I don't have a ton of questions. This won't be a super long video. And I do have a couple random impressions I have picked up too, but I did want to get on and let you know that, and that I will be on more now. Yay, I'm just so glad for him. Okay, so I think that first I'll start off with at the beginning of the year when I did my yearly predictions. I mentioned that Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem were going to be used as scapegoats and get fired. And today, Pam Bondi got fired. A couple weeks ago, Kristi did. Now, since September, I've been talking about Kash Patel too, that he was on borrowed time. And the cabinet's going to look a whole lot different in the future. I'll be discussing a few more through the questions. If I were Tulsi Gabbard, I would probably be making a new resume. Okay, so the first question is, Steve Bannon was on a podcast recently and mentioned that ICE in airports was a good exercise for ICE at polling stations or voting stations coming up in the midterms. Don't worry about that. It's not going to affect the outcome of the election one way or the other. Is mail-in voting going to stop? No, mail-in voting will continue. And what Spirit also told me was, why would the Supreme Court stop mail-in voting when some of them do it? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I bet some of them do it. And also Trump, Melania, and Barron did mail-in voting. The logic there, right? Whatever. Okay, let's see. Do I believe in UFOs? Yes, I do believe in UFOs. I was abducted. The first memory of an abduction I have, I was 8. I've been abducted since then, and I'm also a contactee. One interesting thing is that I asked them once when they would reveal themselves to humanity, and I was shown the number 32. So I was like, okay, 32 days from now, 32 years from now, 2032, and I didn't get an answer besides that, just 32. So hopefully it's 2032. Not 32 years from the year that I asked, which was a few years back. Nancy Guthrie. What's going on with Nancy Guthrie was the question. Okay, all I know is that the day that I heard the first report of her being missing, I saw her, like I was remote viewing, and I saw her on the side of a sandy hill, some rocks, and I was looking down, and there were trees and shrubs or scrub, I don't even know what you call them, in that part of the country. And then I was shown, like looking through her eyes, someone coming at me with black gloves on. And then I panicked and I fell, and I think I hit my head, and then I blacked out. So that's all I know. I can't imagine what the family's going through. I wish them all the best. I hope that they find her safe and sound, but that is what I was shown. I just can't even imagine not knowing. Ground troops over in Iran. So the day that I heard about the war starting, first of all, I asked, how long will it last? And I was shown the number 4. Well, it's been 4 days and it's been 4 weeks, and I do believe all along that 4 months will be when it really starts, like, and things can start phasing out before that. So it will be the beginning of the summer, June-ish, yeah. And also, I was told that there will be ground troops, but there's going to be like a diversion, which is like, look over here, and something else is going on over here covertly. I sure hope I'm wrong. A lot of times I hope I'm wrong, but I do share what I get from Spirit. And I was asked. So, okay, I think that's all for the questions. Oh, Pete Hegseth, that was the other question. Okay, Pete Hegseth is a figurehead, basically. Stephen Miller has more power than he does, and Stephen Miller is more the one running things. Pete says what he's supposed to. He does what he's told, but he's going to end up being a scapegoat as well. So that's another change in the cabinet that's going on. And this will continue, and boy, is that's same old, right? Okay, now for the I got 3 random things, that's right. The first one is that I was out in my garden just working, and I think I get a lot of information when I do that. I think it's because my mind is empty and I'm just like grounded down. I was told, oh, by the way, there is a grassroots movement starting up of people who feel disenfranchised and deceived by Trump. These are people that some of them voted for him 3 times. And it's this word of mouth thing that's going on, and just people getting together. They're going to be starting pages and channels. And this was like really random because I certainly wasn't thinking of that as I was gardening. The next one is, and I don't wish ill will or ill health on anyone. That's not my vibe. But I was told that someone very high up in the government is going to have a heart event, stroke event, and that it's going to be kept from us as long as possible until they can't keep it from us anymore. So once again, I don't always want to be right, but I'm passing this along. This is what I got. And the third thing I picked up, and I had talked about diabetes before in some of my other videos, but I keep being told this, so I'm thinking that it's moving right along, is that the research into diabetes, there's a big breakthrough coming up, or they've just figured it out. Something the way the pancreas processes something. I'm not a doctor, so I don't understand all those details, but it's being brought up to me. So I think that's really cool. And another thing I got, and I am not an investor, I don't have that money, is I was told increased treasury bonds. This was random because, like I said, I don't have stocks, I don't have that kind of money. But the increased treasury bonds, when they get to a certain point, Trump's backers who are into all that financial stuff are going to be really angry. And so that's when things are going to start moving to help people out. Isn't that, yeah, anyway, whatever. Okay, now, when I did my yearly prediction, I was told, first of all, to tell you guys to buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride, for especially the first half of the year. I was also told that this is the year that the United States holds a mirror up to itself. And boy, has that come true. Oh my gosh. But with that being said, the positive thing about that is that our founders thought that they'd covered every possibility in the Constitution, and obviously they hadn't. There's loopholes being shown. One of the loopholes, or one thing that will be changed after midterms, and some of these are going to go into a new presidency as well, is that recesses done to avoid a vote, nobody's going to be getting paid. All those Congress people, senators, and also any recess that lasts longer than the allotted time, normal recess, they won't be getting paid then either. That's over with. If we didn't show up for work, we wouldn't get paid, so why should they? And that's going to be remedied. Also, another thing is stock trading. No more of that. No more stock trading. That's not fair, and that's going to be done too. And eventually, and I'm getting this is going to be a while, like a new president is going to be in office, but Congress, their health care will be more in line with the citizens' health care. The citizens are their bosses anyway. We're their bosses. So this will be more in line with that. Now, have you all heard about Polymarket, the prediction markets? After the midterms, they are going to start being investigated. And this is a really good thing. There's some sketchy stuff going on. Their cryptocurrency is used for all this, so you can't even easily trace who's betting. They're betting on stuff going on with the war. It's just absolutely heinous and heartless. And it will be investigated. And also, relatives, family members of government officials who are partaking in this prediction market are going to be in trouble. They're going to be investigated too. So there you go. I think that's all for today. Trying to keep it short. I have 3 days of dog shows coming up, so I've got to go get ready for that. But I did want to get on and say hello, and it's good to be back, and I'll see you more in the future. Hang in there. Things will get better eventually sooner than later, hopefully. But anyway, so have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.